Jason was just asking me, am I having fun? Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm short like Danny DeVito on the DAX the last week. I was looking for it last week. I think I was looking for this short when we were last talking, actually. And I think I had to puke it last week, but didn't
God bless you.
hurt
That's
too
a
much.
trade. That's a trade I could never fucking do.
You know, did you did you post an inverse DAX chart on Twitter
Yeah, it was
and
fucking.
then be like, yeah, and you're like, do you want to be long or short this market? Yeah. I did that to the on the S&P to the guys today, and then when I
Yeah,
told them what the chart was, they were like, it was just dead silence.
yeah. I think
Nice little trick.
sometimes it helps to see, but I mean, my implication there was, how can you be fucking short this thing? But obviously, you could be because it's working.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, look, like yesterday and today, I took something out of it yesterday because I thought the week that's in at NFP, we're just going to do this equity jump of it's just going to come back in my face and then it'll probably go down again. So,
Yeah,
uh, 2 days ago, took something out of it. Yesterday, started scaling back in a little too early and then just had to like grin and bear it today when it was coming up.
yeah,
But I was hedged long the bund though, so it wasn't too bad. But could have
yeah,
been trading the 2 year. I was eating my hat from making a joke about it the last time we were talking. Trading 2 years.
yeah.
So tell me, what is the market wizard himself doing? Are you still long? You gotta still be long, are you?
I am still long Nasdaq, but I'm short a bunch of other shit that didn't work today, by the way. So I'm pretty market neutral, although today that didn't work. My market neutral stuff did not work today. Um,
Okay.
I don't really know. I don't. I think that what I was writing last night was that, in the beginning of the year, I was super bullish because I thought people were too looking at recession stuff, and I didn't think there was going to be a recession. And
Yeah.
that was all great until that PPI came out, I think the 2nd of February. And
A
the
hot
narrative,
one.
yeah, and the narrative kind of switched there, right? From the recession thing, we went back to the inflation thing there. So,
Right.
and that seems to be where we've been since then, right? Obviously, every time something inflationary comes out, the market goes down. Every time, whatever. Well, there hasn't been every time for non-inflationary because everything comes out inflationary. So, it's a little bit dangerous because I don't think that the thing is going to slow down. So if the market's going to go down on all this fucking stronger shit, then it's going to be tough to be long. Um, I think the market's not going to go up until you get some kind of fighting off that. Get a strong NFP tomorrow, have the market not go down. Okay. Get a strong CPI next week, have the market not go down. Okay. But until it can do that, it's gonna be tough. Um, I was also going back and reading some of my old things from when I was super bearish back at the end of 2022. And then when I was kind of getting bullish at the last quarter of 23. And
Mm-hmm.
my thought
You,
process, my
you mean the
thought
last
process,
quarter of 22?
I'm sorry, last quarter of 22. And the last, yeah, at the end of 21 is when I was getting super bearish. I went back and read my super bearish shit. And then when I was getting more bullish the last quarter of 22, I went back and read that. And, my thought process at the time at the last quarter of 22 was I wrote it in there. I thought people were too bearish in the short term at that point, but not bearish enough long term. So my hope was
Wait,
that my hope
could
was that
I?
the market would squeeze higher and people would get unbearish. The market did squeeze higher, but people have not, in my view, gotten unbearish. But having said that, the longer term bear thing could still be valid. You know what I mean? Like maybe people aren't bearish enough. Like, maybe this is it, right? I have to consider the idea that maybe this is really bad and a lot worse than people think. Guys are saying, oh, well, we're in the last innings of the Fed rate rises, two, maybe three more. Well,
Nah,
what if that's
bullshit. That's
what if
total
what if that's
horseshit.
fucking yeah, what if that's fucking
No,
wrong? What if they're about to raise
those,
rates fucking 10 times, right?
man, those people are smoking crack, and they couldn't trade their way out of a playground.
Right. So if
Ridiculous.
that's
That's
if that's the
ridiculous, man.
case, if that's the case, then
You know what you call? Do you know what they call those people? They call them economists.
no, that's
They call
right.
those people.
Yeah.
So
So if
and
that's wrong,
analysts.
and the Fed is still a long way from being able to stop this shit, then clearly, we could be in a shitload of trouble. I've always felt that what the Fed and all the central banks did since '08 at some point is going to have to come back and fucking haunt you in a big way. Maybe this is it. You know what I mean? And if it is,
Well,
that's fine. I'm going to lose some money. I'm going to get stopped on my Nasdaq longs, clearly, which is coming up because my stop is coming up pretty fucking quickly, man. I'm stopped on a new low, March 2nd low. I'm stopped. And then I'll be
March
short.
2nd low.
Yeah.
March 2nd low. Man, I thought you were way in from.
Well, because there was kind of another news failure on that March 2nd low. So if it goes through that low, I'm getting stopped. So we'll see,
I got you. Yeah.
And then hopefully my short shit will run. Also, because I count so much on the commitment to traders, I went back and looked, and I've warned all these people on my newsletter, like, listen, the commitment to traders is great for what it is, but it's not the all-telling shit. You know what I mean? It didn't.
Well, you had a blackout as well, so I'm just going to adjust my.
Oh, you have had a blackout. That's right. But the CFD did not catch the 87 crash, right? It didn't have you long, but it didn't have you short. It did not catch the 2007, 2008 crash either. Again, didn't have you long. It caught shorts and some other things during that. It had me short. I can specifically remember I was short energies and some other risk assets, but not stocks, So it's not like it catches every single thing. And that doesn't, this market can crash without the CFT getting it. And the market can crash. I can't be short stocks. Okay. Again, that doesn't mean the market can't fucking crash. The market could crash.
The reason why I gave you a shout here is because I was just scrolling through Twitter as I was sitting on the couch, saw the S&P is down, I don't know, the 1.2%, is it right now, or
something like that?
Something like that. Oh, well, it's just, oh shit, no, my data's updated here. I don't know what it's down. It's down a lot anyway.
S&P is down 1.97%.
There you go.
The Dow's down 568 points.
Yeah. So
Nasdaq is pretty much going out on lows.
So you posted something on Twitter. I came across a tweet where you were like, here's the COT report on the Dow. And then someone was like, and it shows the commercials are net bigger, longer than the rest. And then someone was calling you out, and I was like, hold on a second. No, this is kind of fitting with, what generally Jason is saying, that, he's looking for everybody to be getting long, and then he's looking to get short. But what I really want to do is respond to what you're saying about the crashes, where it's not going to identify the crashes, where, if you're going to have a mother and father of a puke on a market, it's going to force the largest side out to the point where they're gone, they're toasted, and then we go some more, and then people start buying in. Just from the way I look at market dynamics, even on a scalp, it kind of seems to be how it works, in terms of...
for me to get short, for example, which may or may not happen, I think one of two things can happen. One, the market can rip higher, can squeeze all these shorts out, and whatever, the numbers start coming out weaker. The NFP comes out weaker. The CPI starts to come out weaker, squeezes these shorts out. They start to buy into the fact that, okay, the Fed has won the fucking battle, and then they start getting bullish and they get long, and then I can get short, right? That's one way. That's sort of the best way, which, as we know, very rarely happens.
I like that.
Right? The best way never happens, right? The other way it can happen, and this kind of happened during the whole COVID thing, which is, okay, people are bearish, fine. Maybe they're not bearish enough. So maybe the S&P comes down to those levels that everybody's looking at, whatever that is, 3,200, 3,400, that kind of area. And then they come in and they buy that. And then they come in and buy that. They buy the dip, right? Instead of chasing it higher, they buy the dip. And then they get super long into the dip. And then you get it's actually a hell of a lot worse than you fucking people are thinking. And then we get a big move down. I can get short that too. Or I could just never get short and just miss the whole fucking move, which, okay.
Yeah.
As long as I catch it somewhere else, I'm okay.
Don't they call it unpatriotic to be getting short in the States? Don't they hate short sellers in general?
I mean, you know, I guess the overall retail crowd doesn't like it, right? But so what? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly. I always
um,
thought that was hilarious. It's just like this big sort of consensus of we don't like short sellers. You just only trade things you want to be long. It's like I I suppose that's an equity traders like
well,
derivative
they're not, you
trader
know,
type of thing.
they're not traders. You know, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're fucking
But
long-term
so
investors.
like let's talk about what I mean, the real thing that I'm happy seeing here today, which is sort of what I'll call Shapiro-esque, is you got a dovish you got a dovish reading on the initial jobless claims.
And the market,
Uh, right, yeah. So it came in, we were talking about it in the room just to get clarity. We were looking for what was it, 190 on the initial jobless claims, as in 190,000 people were going to be, or I think it was 195 were going to be claiming unemployment
yeah,
benefits. Came in on a beat.
yeah,
Yeah, 211 beat
yeah.
on 195 prior 190. And so
Yeah,
that's kind of like
market loved it for about an hour and a half.
loved it. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Right. And it had me sweating on my position here, I have to say. But then we're getting this puke, man. We're getting this
Yeah,
puke.
no, it's
So,
bad. It doesn't look, clearly today's action was terrible. And what's even worse to me about today's action, not only to me, but for me, is the correlations all broke here. I mean, you're talking
yeah, the
about,
bonds are gone, man. The bonds, the equities are totally split here.
I mean, bonds are up. I thought that was supposed to be bullish stocks, right? The dollar is down. I thought that was supposed to be bullish stocks, right? Um, and
Yeah, it's only down what,
that
0.4?
didn't work today, man. That didn't work today, you know, and that's where my hedges have been. I've been short yen, and that did not fucking help me today. Now, fortunately, I'm long 10 years too, from the other
Yeah.
day, which was that I forget what the fucking number was the other day that got me fucking long to 10 years, but whatever that fucking
Um,
bearish number was last week. Um,
yeah, it was Friday.
that's right. It was Friday. Yeah.
Friday. I can't remember. Was it a
Yeah.
CPI? I
Whatever.
don't
It
know.
wasn't CPI, but whatever the hell it was, that got me long 10 years. So at least that is helping me.
Yeah.
Although a 20 tick move in the 10 years doesn't help me with a fucking, you know, however many point in the Nasdaq and however many, you know, and the yen, you know, had the yen done what it has been doing on days like that, I would have been fine, but whatever. Um,
So
it
this
is,
is yeah, but this is something the guys in my room. I've been talking about this. Actually, I was talking about this the last time we were talking. I've been wondering. Okay, look, yeah, I mean that we saw I had a bail auction today, right?
uh-huh.
4 week bail auction went out at a yield 4.64%. The prior bid or yield was 4.5 on a 4 weeks. I'm going to put my money down for 4 weeks on a bill. And you're getting 4.5. That's crazy. I mean, you're getting 5% on a 6 month. Everyone knows that now.
I mean, you see
Uh, the
you see,
bonds have got to be bought at these great prices, great yields.
I don't know.
You gotta buy some bonds. You gotta forget about taking risking it all on the stocks. That this is something I've been look. It's been very hard to try and catch this trade for the last 2-3 weeks, but
Yeah.
I think these bond yields are just getting so good right now that people are going, all right, fair enough. Let's go to safety. Let's take the risk-free rate.
I mean, I keep saying that that's going to be, to me, trying to be Mr. fucking contrarian, right? I just don't know that to me, that has to go wrong somewhere. That every single person I know calls me every day and tells me how they're getting out of all their stocks and they're buying 1 years, 1 year fucking treasuries because they're collecting for, whatever it is, 4.5%, whatever the number is, right? And it's
Yeah.
risk free. And why deal with the volatility of stocks? Okay, I get it. It makes perfect sense. But to me, things that make perfect sense don't fucking work. So how is that going to blow up? I don't know. Either the stock market's going to way outperform that and you're going to wish you were in stocks, which today is not telling that message, right? Or I don't know what, you know what I mean? I don't know. Or maybe it just fucking works, you know what I mean? But to me, over time, from my observations of doing this what everybody's doing is not what's going to work over time. So I don't know how that's going to go wrong, but I don't know.
I hear,
I just
I hear
smell a
you.
rat. I just smell a rat with that whole thing, man. You know, now I'm long tenure, so what am I talking about? But I just smell a rat.
Yeah.
We'll see how it
I
plays
don't,
out. You're telling me that every freaking all these retail investors that are doing that are going to be right?
I don't think a lot of retail are buying these bonds, especially the
Oh,
notes.
I
I think
I
they're
hear it
man.
every fucking day, man. I hear it every day. Every friend that I have that's in the wealth management business, which I don't know how it is
Yeah,
over there.
these are portfolio guys, allocators. They're not,
No, these
they're
are
not
guys who work for
they're not.
Morgan Stanley and have a bunch of retail clients, and the retail clients are calling them up day after day saying, "Get me out of stocks and get me in 1 year
All right.
notes."
Okay. All
That's
right.
who it is. Are those guys going to be right? I guess
For
anything could happen,
for
right?
for a year, they're going to be right.
All right, then okay, then good for
Well,
them.
they're
I
going
tell
to
you
get
what, if the Fed's raising rates to
their
10 fucking
coupon.
percent, they ain't going to be freaking right.
Well, yeah, that's the interesting thing because if all right, so we're kind of teeing up now for a 50 basis point hike, but we need
Yeah.
to see NFP tomorrow, right? So there's a lot of pressure on this NFP. It's probably going to be the biggest one of the year, I reckon, in terms of eyes on and impact.
Well, especially after the last one.
Yeah, what was a 500,000 on the
Yeah.
upside?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
freaked everybody out. Yeah.
so one of the guys in the room, I was saying, for my positioning, I really want to see a massive beat here that's just going to then have the Fed put the foot down, and then we can maybe start even talking about a 75 basis point hike in the next meeting,
There
right?
you go.
And then and then we're really going to turn up the volume on going down on equities, I think. And
Oh, yeah.
but then yields are going to get crushed, I think, on that temporarily, maybe.
The long end said, yeah.
Well, what do you think about? I mean, yeah, one of the guys in our group was saying that there's this lag, 3 month lag. So if you got laid off in December, you can only claim unemployment in March. Is that right? So you got all these tech layoffs that came through
I,
December,
I, I,
January.
unfortunately, I've never claimed unemployment, which is, I don't know. I don't get to participate in the American way.
Yeah.
Because I've always
So
fucking,
I thought that was interesting, but like you still saw ADP as a beat, or sorry, Jolts and ADP beats here. So
yes. Yeah.
I don't see a
I
big
have no
miss
way of
coming in.
forecasting a number. I just look at it
Yeah,
versus
neither do I.
expectations, and I try to see how the market reacts to that. You know what I mean? I have a hard time
Yeah,
believing that if this thing comes out at 500 again, that the market's going to react in a positive way. But let's see how it happens. We certainly saw a lot of selling today, right?
yeah, yeah.
So all I can do is wait back and see how it happens. I trade market reactions. I'm not a forecaster because I have no fucking way of gaining an edge forecasting. I don't know what NFP is going to be tomorrow. How the hell would I know? To me,
But
everything's,
even
in my view, is everything's going to be stronger. But you know, let's see, right? I
so
mean,
you think we're jawboning NFP by selling down here?
what's that?
You think we're jawboning the NFP by selling down here, and then if it comes out as a miss, then we can just rally 5-6% tomorrow?
I'm more interested as if it comes out as a fucking beat and then see what happens. If it comes out
Yeah,
lower, the market goes up. There's no information for me there. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay, it comes out lower, market goes up. Okay, that's what it's supposed to do, right?
yeah,
Comes
yeah.
out higher, market goes down. Okay, that's what it's supposed to do, right? The only
Well,
interesting
John,
thing, the only interesting thing to me is if it comes out higher and then the market rebounds and closes up. That's the only thing that's interesting to me. The rest of it is just a coin flip, right?
yeah, yeah. You just trade
So
what's happening, really.
yeah, so I don't really want a coin flip. Now, is it going to come out at 500 and the market's going to end up closing up tomorrow? I got a hard time saying that, but
I,
let's see what happens, especially because then you got CPI, next week, and then you're going to have to deal with that too, right?
yeah, I suppose gone are the days where you see VIX topping out at 16, 17, 18. Now it's like it's just relentless. Like the volatility this quarter is even the first 2 months of the year is was just crazy, and it's like every week there's just like this massive, like earth shattering impact data event, and literally the markets just are. I think they're just seasick. They're like, we've been in like this super tight range, but we're kind of bleeding down on that range now, I suppose. Certainly looking at the S&P, but
I mean,
yeah,
look at the fucking Dow chart, man. Like,
the Dow. They're not. I mean, this is why I'm trading DAX. Like,
those are some bad looking motherfucking charts. That's all I can say.
why I'm trading Europe, man, because it's just nice and quiet you know, in Europe. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
at the map there.
I am not, I'm so two-sided here, man. I'm so two-sided here. I can make the bullish case based on sort of positioning and the psychology that I hear, but at the same time, I can make the super bearish case, which could also be the contrarian trade. People aren't, like I say, maybe people aren't bearish enough, you know, because they think that the Fed is going to be done soon.
So,
Which one is it?
so
I don't fucking know. That's what people keep telling me. Well, which one's it going to be? I'm like, dude, I'm not.
the Fed are not. Yeah, but here's the Fed are not going to be done soon, and they keep it. I'm blown away with that. They have to keep reiterating the same thing of like, we've got a long way to go. Things are going the right direction, but
Well, I mean, this is what has killed me, and this is what has kept me wanting to be bullish, is that when I hear people say that, like that's just goes so opposite of everything that I know and everything that I think. When somebody says to me, you know what, the Fed keeps telling you, and the Fed keeps, but the market just isn't getting it. Well, the market is it. So the market can't not get it because the market is it, right? So that's the kind of thing that I want to go with. I want to go with the market and against what people are saying. The market doesn't offer you a gift. Hey, look, they're saying this, and yet the market's not going down. Well, as it turns out, maybe that's exactly
no,
what it
but
does.
well, okay. So from my interpretation as to as what I've been seeing happening is that the Fed have said, being hawkish basically the whole way through,
Whole way.
and the market has actually been extremely fucking resilient.
Yes.
Like,
So to me, that's a buy.
look at the low Dow September last
Not
year.
right, but it's a buy.
It hit the pre-COVID high almost at 28,825,
Yes.
and it's fucking rallied into what, 35,200.
Yes.
Put in a top. Like, that's insane. The people who took that rally were buying a dip. There was a bit of value there, a bit of growth to be had. We'll give it that. We were down what, 22% on the year at that point, or I don't know, something like that on the SPOs anyway.
Uh-huh.
They rallied it from there, and then suddenly you hear, oh yeah, there's people that think that the Fed are going to cut in 2023. No, they're not. They never said that. They're hawkish all the way. And
No,
so
no,
now,
I think you're right.
uh,
I think that's what they're missing. And that's what I say. They're not bearish enough. As bearish as
and
they might be, I don't think they're
and
bearish enough.
I think those September dip buyers are now exiting and running to the bonds.
Yes.
So that's why you see Bund up 0.3, DAX is down 1% here, you know.
Yeah, no, it's clear that's what's happening. How long does it last? I don't know. I can't trade. This is the fundamental and therefore, you know what I mean? Because I've gotten that wrong so many fucking times, man. So I have to trade what the market action is what I trade, right? The market action when it goes against what the fundamental is supposed to be, that's what I
Mm.
trade. So we're not getting, but you don't get that all the time, right? Right now we're getting this is the fundamental and this is what the market should be doing, and that's exactly what's going on, you know. So
Mm.
I kind of have to wait until something else happens, right? Like I say, let the number come out big tomorrow, let the market not go down. Okay, there's some information for me. Let CPI come out big next week, let the market not go down. Okay, there's some information for me. If it were going to
That's
happen, my guess would be the CPI, right? Because tomorrow comes out big, the market's going to go down. And then it'll keep going down into CPI. And then maybe we can get a bigger CPI. And then maybe the market doesn't go down on that. I don't know. That's what happened in September on the low, right?
yeah.
Maybe it'll happen again. I don't know. I
It's
can't
just
guess.
so hard. It's so hard to kind of get your head around doing that though, isn't it? Like, that's the real contrarian thing where you know, you get this super, like, you know, NFP comes out super big, which should feed into a super hawkish Fed.
Yes.
And, you know, what you're looking for is market doesn't go down, you know, and
And as long as the market, you know,
it's really hard to like get on board with, okay, the next day, like it'll be Monday or late in the Friday session tomorrow. It'll be like, okay, I'm selling here, or sorry, I'm buying on the low of day, or I'm going to catch a bottom here and then hold it.
yeah,
You know, that's really hard to do, man.
I mean,
Psychologically, I
that's,
think.
that's what I do. So it's a little bit easier for me because that's what I've always done. But as long as it doesn't like, you know, I mean, if the number comes out big and the market goes fucking down and never comes back, you know, then I don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like the market has
Sure.
to tell
Yeah.
me, you know, the market has to tell me, right?
You're going to
Um,
be looking at Monday trade rather than looking to take a well, I suppose if it only goes down a small bit and then starts to turn tomorrow, you're probably going to look for
you
entry.
know, if the freaking number comes out big, it ain't going down a small bit at the open, dude. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about where
Yeah.
it closes, but I'm talking about where it opens, man. That number comes out at 500, SPOOs are going to be down 40, right? What happens?
Yeah.
What happens after that? We'll see, right? And I
Or
start to
only
look.
40.
You know what I'm saying?
Gonna be
Like
down like 500
100.
points.
No, that's right. That's right. So, um,
Easy.
you know, that's right. So, um, and I don't think like I might try to buy some earlier than that, but it's going to depend on how everything else is trading. If then I have a big thing where the Nasdaq leading. If the Nasdaq is, if the market's getting crushed, but the Nasdaq is leading it, you know,
Mm.
on the upside, then I might try to put something on in anticipation of it closing, you know, having one of these reversal days, but it just doesn't feel that way to me. So I'm not going to be too aggressive trying to do that. You know what I mean? Let it fucking go down. You know what? I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. Let it go down. Let the market fucking crash for all I give a shit. You know, I mean, I'm not going to be short it, but like I said, I'll be short all this other shit. I'm short fucking energy and, you know, that'll go with it. So, and hopefully the dollar will help me instead of hurting me like it did today. So, um, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
let it happen, man. Fuck it.
I think the dollar is gonna definitely have a good outing this year. I think we're
Let me ask you
pretty
something
decent.
more importantly, which is what the fuck is this? Sorry, I'm doing my back office here before I get in trouble. Um, how did Ireland do in the rugby?
We killed it. We aced it. So
Crushed them? You crushed the Brits?
crushed. No, not we haven't played them yet. We're
I thought
playing
you
them
said they
on
were playing
the
the Brits.
18th. No, we played France, I think, since we were last talking, and we really had a great game there, man.
I actually caught, you know,
Killed it.
believe it or not, that was on TV here. I caught
Oh
that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
nice,
I caught that game.
nice. Yeah, we you want to watch the Ireland England game on the 18th, day after Paddy's Day. That's
That's
the
what I
big
thought
one.
was, that's why I was searching for it. I was under the impression that was what was going to go on. I'm like, I got to watch that for those guys.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's on
yeah.
the 18th of this month.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, you should check it out. That's I think no matter all the rest of the games that come this year, including the World Cup, I think that's going to be probably one of the highlight games for us, for the fans anyway. I mean, the French game was just an incredible game of rugby, I think, for us.
I
But
mean, French are historically pretty damn good at rugby, right?
yeah, 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 they are. Yeah.
Despite being French.
And then obviously the All Blacks games and the the later round games in the World Cup.
When is the World Cup going down?
Kicks off in September.
Oh, we got a while for that.
Um, yeah, but you
Good.
can get some good prices right now.
Some good prices. What, for tickets?
No, for odds,
For
bet.
betting? Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't even bet sports that I understand, much less ones that I don't fucking understand.
Well, there you go. So, where else should we be looking here? How's the Ags looking? I haven't traded Ags in like 3 years, maybe 4 years.
I got short bean meal yesterday, which worked
Which
for about bean meal, which worked for
main
about,
meal?
yeah, it
Wow.
worked for about 2 fucking hours today and then went in my face. I am looking to get short, I mean, long wheat. I just need some bearish freaking news and have the market rally. which it has not done so far. It's just gone straight the fuck down.
So, like, how is the Ukraine? I mean, obviously, the Ukrainian situation bears huge on the macro for that trade, right?
So what I'm hoping to see really is them. They were saying that the guy from the UN was going to broker a deal to keep the wheat flowing out of Ukraine today. I didn't see it, what happened, but I'm hoping that they do that. They broker the deal. That the wheat can keep flowing, which should
Do you
theoretically
know?
be
Do you know?
bearish, and then
Do
have the
you know
market close
who's?
up on that.
Do you know who's out there farming those fields?
No.
Irish farmers.
Oh, I was going to say it must be Irishman.
2 months after the invasion, there was like about 20 Irish farmers reporting from the fields beside their tractor in the Ukraine saying, well, we got to harvest these crops.
Yeah.
So they're keeping it flowing. Along with, obviously, there's a lot of Ukrainians still there, but
It's
incredible.
it's always the Irish that keeps the world going, isn't it?
What would you do without us?
That's what my wife tells me every day. My wife, Megan Kelly, tells me that every day.
Megan Kelly.
It's the Irish that
Uh,
keep the world going.
so if they don't get a deal done, though, I mean, that is going to be a crazy bid for a wheat. Like,
Yeah, I don't want that. I want them to get a deal done and then have the market not go down on that. And then I'll be a buyer. That's that again, that's what I do, right? Let them all
right,
get short, let the market stop going down on bad news, and I'll get long. So I'd like to see him get that deal done, and I'd like to see that reaction. So that's what I'm doing there. The other stuff, I can tell you that like palladium, people are ridiculously fucking short
lady.
palladium here.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the weapons manufacturers would want that. Like, you guys are really short on stockpiles right now in the US,
Well,
anyway.
the trend followers are mega short, right? Because it's
Yeah.
been going down, you know? So that's one. And I think that's really all I'm kind of looking at here. Maybe sugar, they're starting to get a little bit long sugar, but it's not really there yet.
Mm,
That's really all I'm looking at here.
okay.
The
Okay.
COT has been delayed, but the one that came out last night, they gave like a one because they're trying to catch up,
Oh,
was
yeah.
was a little bit of a shocker because
Really?
in the
I thought
currencies, because I would have
then,
thought that people were buying the shit out of the dollar. And
yeah.
this was as of like the 17th of February, which is going back 3 weeks now. But for the first part of February up to the 17th, the dollar was rallying. I would have thought people were buying the
Yeah.
shit out of it, and they weren't. They were selling the shit out of it. Um,
Really?
yeah, which surprised me. The one in the currencies that's really showing up also though is Canada, where people are getting short as fucking shit, the Canadian dollar. And that was as of the 17th, and the Canadian dollar has gotten crushed since then. Um, but like
Yeah.
something like the Aussie dollar, I would have thought that people would have been selling the shit out of the Aussie dollar, and they're not. So that was kind of the shocker to me, this whole dollar
I
thing.
think the Aussie dollar, I don't know, a lot of Europeans see that as a little bit of a safe, an anti-Dixie safe haven, like if they don't
I
want
get,
exposure to Dixie, they like a bit of Aussie.
well, hasn't been a very good fucking trade.
Yeah, I have friends of mine who parked a lot of stuff in Australia like a year ago. And yeah, I've yet to meet up with them and see how that's gone. But
Yeah.
yeah, probably doing all right. All right. Well, look, the story keeps unfolding here. NFP tomorrow. It's gonna be it's
It
gonna be a
never
lot of fun.
stops, man. It never stops.
I
It
don't know.
never
It just
stops.
feels like now coming out of COVID, I thought, okay, everything's gonna be really simple. We're just gonna rally and be all
Yeah.
this bound up M2 money supply savings accounts. Everyone's just going to be
I mean,
spending.
did
It's
you
going to
see
be
the
the
money
the
supply charts
roar.
that came out today?
I retweeted. Did you see what I retweeted yesterday? The M2 savings to credit card debt. It's like credit card debt is like this, and savings is like it can't. It's like almost negative.
Yeah.
Like,
So, I mean, again, I can talk positioning all I fucking want, man. If that shit is coming to roost, right? Then
well, now we're talking
positioning
some
ain't gonna
really
save
big stuff.
positioning ain't gonna save shit. Okay.
But this is like the porn conversation for bears, right? You know, it's like
Yes.
what happens to this chart? Credit card debt up, savings super down. When is it going to break? How is it going to break?
Could be tomorrow.
Banks going to the wall? That's
Could have
what
been. It could have been today. I mean, don't forget we had this fucking bank blow up today, right?
Yeah, what's it called? Silver Corp, or I don't know, what's it
No,
called?
no, no, not
I'd
just
never
that
even
one,
heard of
man.
it.
Silicon Valley Bank blew up today.
Really? SVB? They're gone.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Holy shit. I had
Stocks down
meetings
like
with those guys
stocks down
in
60%.
24.
Stocks down 60% today, dude.
Holy shit. So
These
obviously
guys.
all their senior bondholders are running for the exit.
I mean, the guy came out today and said what I thought was one of the worst fucking things I've ever heard, man. You know, he
Oh
was like,
man,
"Look,
no wonder the Nasdaq is on fire here.
yes, no, that's why things started collapsing today was because of the Silicon Valley Bank thing." But where's this fucking quote? I was dying on this quote from this fucking guy. It was like the worst thing you could say. Here, he reassures clients, right? He says, the bank has ample liquidity to support our clients with one exception. If everyone is telling each other that we're in trouble, there's going to be a problem. Well, you just secured your freaking fate, pal. That's exactly what everyone's going to do now.
He said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet.
Exactly. So, you know, we,
Jesus.
I don't know, man. Again, I can sit here and list all the things that people are bearish about. This is what makes me bullish, right? And there's no end to the things you can be bearish about. And the list,
Yeah.
I put in my thing this way. Here's the list of things to be bullish about. And I put a big picture of nothing burger, right? There is nothing to be bullish about. Okay. Which again, as a contrarian, may wants to be bullish because of that. But if the market's just going to keep going, I'm not just getting in the fucking way because I've done that before in my life and that's a mistake, right?
You could
I'll
easily be too early on that sort of thing. Yeah.
You can be way freaking too early, man. So again, this thing takes out these lows from the second of whatever the hell it was, March, and I'll be out and then I'll be waiting, you know?
I have to fire these squawkers, man. I don't see anything on my feed about SVB going to the wall or going down 60%. That's crazy. Well, yeah, it's because it's just down 60. They're just going, well, that's another equity. We don't care. Like, you know.
I mean, these guys were
But that could be like our Lehman moment, you know. That's for the
it very
Nasdaq,
well
that's a
be.
Lehman moment. Definitely.
It,
They're funding all of those guys. They are
they
all
are
these tech
they are
shops
funding all
are
those guys.
so leveraged through those guys.
That's
It's
correct.
insane.
That is correct. And now they're fucked because they took, obviously as collateral. What did they take?
Shares in companies.
Yes, shares in private companies that have no fucking value, right?
And you know what? I think they took preference shares as well. So, but you know what? The other investors on the cap table are going to come in and bottom fish on those shares because they're gonna dilute in rather than create like an anti-dilution on some of the shareholdings, obviously. You know.
I don't know, but I know that the potential for a fucking complete fuck job is there. I mean, things usually don't. When was the last time one of these things ended up okay? I
Yeah,
can't think
I
of a
can't
single time
remember.
where it just
I
ended
can't
up
remember.
okay, right? It reminds me of that Jim Cramer moment with Bear Stearns, right? You ever seen that one?
Which one?
It
Or
was
wait till the stock is
5 days,
healthy and
5 days
buy some
before
more.
Bear Stearns blew up, right? There's a video somewhere on there where the guy calls up Jim Cramer and shows, what do you think I should do with my Bear Stearns stock? I'm thinking about selling it. And he's going, no, 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 don't be stupid. Do not sell Bear. If anything, someone's going to buy him. Bear is fine. But and it was 5 days later, the stock was zero, right?
Jesus
Because,
Christ.
you want to believe it's going to be okay. But I've never seen a time when these things ended well. So this Silicon Valley Bank thing could be a real thing, let's say.
I think that's the Lehman moment of our time. The
Could be.
chickens from 2008 have come home to roost.
It could be. Let's see. Let it
Let's
all
see,
happen.
man.
Let it all happen. Just stop me the fuck out and let it happen. I'm all for it.
All right, man. Until the next time. Listen,
All right, cool.
gentlemen.
Why don't you
Good
guys
luck.
join our freaking thing? You guys want to join our thing? It's $100 a month, man. And then you can get on there and you can talk to, we have some pretty good guys on there that have all kinds of different views on shit. I mean, it's pretty good news flow that we get because we've probably put up like 300 people have joined in the last like few months. So
Okay.
it's good because now we've got 300 eyes watching shit. It's almost like free research, you know? Some of them clearly are a bunch of dipshits, but there's about 20, 30, 40 guys on there who are pretty on it, man. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
it's like free research. And even the dipshits are free research because they're great fades, you know?
I only really talk to you, man, and the guys in the room. You know, we're quite a bunch. We all kind of trade very similar. So yeah, but okay. Okay.
I
We'll
mean,
all
you
get
don't have
the
to.
credit market
I'm not
research.
saying, you know what I mean? You don't have to, but it's good because the Discord page is good. And then, you'll get my weekly report too. And then if you want to see the COT charts, we created COT charts that are better than fucking everybody's, truthfully.
Are there
Um,
any trials or freebies going there for Duggan, Tim
no,
Duggan?
it's $100 a month, bro. You guys can all chip in, you and all your buddies, $10 each, man.
I
Everybody asks me for
I'll
a freebie. I'm like, first of all, I don't even have the power over that because I don't run the fucking thing, right? My partner
I'll
does.
I'll
And every time I
I'll
ask,
be in
Jack
there tomorrow.
Schwager keeps trying to give me a fucking freebie. Jack Schwager calls me up all the time. Can I get a free fucking thing? I'm like, dude, you're writing bestseller books, man. Come up with $100 for crying out loud. Fuck the amount of
I
shit
think
you go in there. The amount of money I've made some of these fucking guys off of some of the fucking things. It's like ridiculous. But I'm not pushing you. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I'm just saying, I think it's a good.
well,
I really think it's a good resource.
truth be told, I actually almost did it there last week, but we had a new arrival of baby Piper Duggan last week, so
Oh, nice.
it was a busy one. So now boy and a girl in the house, and oh yeah, I'll get
Congratulations.
on there. I'll get on there
Another
maybe
Irishman.
tomorrow.
That's what we need in this world. Another Irishman.
Bring them on. Bring them on. Two more traders join the group.
There you go. God, hopefully not, man. What the
Well,
fucking
listen,
what?
I'll be in that room tomorrow, and I'll be swinging opinions all over the place and seeing who's coming at me.
Do it. People love it, man. I mean, if you send me a private, I'll show you exactly who the fuck. I mean, we've gotten a whole bunch of new fucking people. That's why I'm on Twitter. Is I'm trying to get them to fucking push to my thing, right? And it's working. For about
Right,
every 100 Twitter followers I get, we get like 2 people sign up, right?
it's great.
But yeah, I'm trying to get the guy who started this thing and runs the whole thing. I'm trying to get him enough money so he can quit his fucking job. That's been my
Maybe
goal.
some of your guys should come into Duggan Capital Discord and check out what's going on as
They
well.
will, dude. They will. If you, I don't know how to do that, but if you tell them how to do that, they're on Discord. I'm sure they can just get on your Discord. They would. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, maybe we should merge the Discords.
I'm open to
Make it
it.
one. Make it one savage party. All
That's
right.
kind of
Well,
what it's becoming, but yeah.
yeah. Well, listen. Okay, I'm going to put the link to credit market report and where to sign up on the bottom of this video. All right, man.
All right, cool. Good talking.
Gentlemen, watch Ireland play on the 18th. Don't
I
miss it.
will. I will watch.
All right.
All right,
Take it
thanks.
easy. Enjoy
Yep.
tomorrow.
All right,
Bye.
thanks.